Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, Kevin Harlan, thank you for joining us tonight. A lot of star power on display this evening here.
Well, you know the musical group Earth, Wind, and Fire. Kevin Durant, arguably one of the greatest scorers in this league, probably since Michael Jordan. Russell Westbrook, fantastic in the open court, and the power and dominance of Dwight Howard.
And a lot of good matchups both ways as we take a look at our opening lineups tonight. Two good teams going head-to-head, the Magic and the Thunder. Which group you going to watch here?
Well, it's going to be that point guard matchup. Russell Westbrook, for his size, one of the better offensive rebounding guards. Jameer Nelson's going to have to do a good job of keeping a bottom on him. And the Orlando Magic 17-2 when they have more assists than their opponents. That's Jameer Nelson's job to get everyone involved.
Dwight Howard in the game played last night, an overtime loss for the Magic in New Orleans. Had a terrific game with 29 points and 20 rebounds, and Kevin Durant is the #1 scorer coming into tonight in the NBA.
Well, it's going to be about pace for the Thunder. Here in this fantastic arena with their crowd, they've got to get out quickly and increase the pace. And if you're Stan Van Gundy and the Orlando Magic, you want to slow the tempo down, try to make it a half-court game, and set your defense.
So the Oklahoma City Thunder last night played in Houston and beat the Rockets 118-112. Durant had 30, Russell Westbrook had 23. The Magic now at 25-13 and one win behind last year's pace. Lost in overtime in New Orleans 92-89. Our officials tonight, Mark Davis, Tommy Nunez Jr. and Zach Zarba, and here we go. I expect the pace of this one to be back and forth.
Well, already what I see right now with Jason Richardson, a bigger guard on Russell Westbrook to take away that height advantage he would have. Durant knocks down his first shot of the evening.
And the defense by Hedo Turkoglu. I imagine they're going to send a lot of people at Durant as the night goes on.
Well, not only are they going to send another defender at Kevin Durant, but look for Dwight Howard to overcrowd, to come over early, just so you can see 3 defenders trying to guard Kevin Durant.
There's a screen by Bass. Here comes Richardson. The shot clock at 4. Cephalosha watching Brandon Bass. Much improved this season. And Westbrook with the rebound. Westbrook is one of the top 20 scorers in the NBA coming in. Here is Jeff Green from outside. His shot has not been falling. A nice offensive rebound there by Kristich.
Well, extra possession there by Kristich, keeping the ball alive for more possessions.
And he brings Howard out with that shot, which is going to be something that could play into the Thunder's favor.
This could be a very tough matchup for Dwight Howard, because when you get into a pick and pop situation with Nate Kristich, that's taking your best defender away from the basket.
Nelson has been playing great, and here comes Bass again with a little double team, and across the lane finds 2.
What a tough shot. Brandon Bass, as you mentioned, having a career year in minutes, points, and rebounds. He's gotten the time.
Almost too much time, playing about 30 minutes a game. Here is Durant from outside. I don't know how Turkoglu is going to defend him. When Durant gets going with that silky smooth shot, he is very tough to stop. So long. Here's Bass over Green.
Well, for starters, if you're Hedo, you're going to have to crowd Kevin Durant. You're going to have to make him put the ball on the floor, because he's too long at that 6'9", 6'10" frame, being able to shoot over the defense of just an open hand.
And he's always on the move, like right here, and he finds Kristich inside on Bass. Oh, knocked away. As Howard came from behind. He's one of the top shot blockers in the NBA. Is Dwight Howard coming into tonight, #1.
Well, that's his 43rd consecutive game with at least 1 block shot. 3rd in the league in block shots this season.
That was a pretty good pass inside by Durant, too, and Cephalosha could not find the handle. So you see the 43rd game, as Reggie talked about. We talked about what happened to each team last night. On the road, Orlando is 10-9. At home, the Thunder 14-6. And Oklahoma City, Reggie, is 5 wins ahead of last year's 50-win pace.
Well, and we talked about them having the bullseye on their back. The team is no longer going to creep up on you. When you're playing on national holidays and you take the Lakers to 6 games and Kobe Bryant says that was the toughest series I've been in a long time, you're going to have a bullseye on your back.
Tough shot by Kristich with Howard coming out to close. And here comes Orlando, winning 9 of their last 10. Had a 9-game winning streak, stopped last night, as we mentioned. Here's the shot by Nelson. Offensive rebound by Bass. Turkoglu, he's been playing great. Inside, he'll go on the trade for Phoenix. He comes back to Orlando, and he is thriving with the foul called there on Kristich, who picks up his first with a look at Stan Van Gundy, the coach of the Orlando Magic.
Well, something I'm seeing early, especially from the Thunder, chasing the Magic off that three-point line. The Magic, one of the best shooting teams in the league, and the Thunder, one of the worst at defending the three. And I think that's one of the messages that came out of the locker room, running off these Magic players off that three-point line.
So maybe they lack a little bit of interior defense, but the perimeter defense by Oklahoma City Thunder is something to watch.
Well, when you shoot the ball as well as the Magic do, you've got to run them off that three-point line. Yeah, you might give up a few dunks and alley-oops to Dwight Howard down low, but you want to take those shooters off that line.
Green to Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, who played at UCLA, again in a starring role last night against New Orleans. A terrific night, rather against Houston. 23 points and 13 assists with the first turnover. Then, of course, he can push the pace the other way, and Nelson has to defend it.
Not only does he defend him, but this is going to be a tough spot for Jameer Nelson to be in when you've got a taller Russell Westbrook on the post. Nice effort, multiple effort by Russell Westbrook. Digs down, gets the steal, leads the break, and causes the 3-second.
On the defensive end, and this will put Durant at the free throw line for the Thunder. When you talk about Nelson, think about the group of point guards he's got to watch just on this trip alone. Last night in New Orleans, working on Chris Paul. Tonight, Westbrook. Then he's got Ridnour in Minnesota coming up, and Rondo on Monday night in Boston.
Well, that's going to be every night.
Yeah,
every night, every team has an elite point guard now that either can post you up and push it, like tonight, what Russell Westbrook could do.
Nice extra pass. It goes to Green with an open three. He has not been hitting his three-point shots, about 23% lately, so it's good to see him putting that in.
Well, that makes him 8 of 31 over his last 10 ball games. 11, excuse me. And hasn't been shooting the ball particularly well, but when you're that wide open, you've got to be able to take it.
With a 6-0 run around by Oklahoma City. The Magic 2 of 5. Way outside, Richardson. Rebound pulled down by Durant, his first. 5 of 9 shooting so far for Oklahoma City. Over Turkoglu, Durant. Westbrook almost tapped it in, and Kristich is right there. And Lackton fouled inside by Orlando. Howard may have clubbed him.
What did I talk about? Trying to find and put a body on Russell Westbrook. You see the shot here by Durant, and who's in there keeping the ball alive is Westbrook, and then Kristich cleans up his mess and gets fouled by Dwight Howard.
So Howard picks up his first personal foul, and here is Kristich at the line. You know, last season in the 2 games that these two teams played against each other, Howard only averaged 15 points against Kristich and the Thunder.
Well, you've got Kristich, and then you got Serge Ibaka coming in off the bench to add a little muscle. Nick Collison, who's physical, tough, takes charges, doesn't back down. Scottie Brooks has a few players to go against Dwight Howard, kind of frustrate him a little bit.
Here is Turkoglu, came in that December 18th trade. Good fake by Nelson. Rebound by Kristich, claims another. He's got 5 rebounds already.
I'm telling you, the Thunder are doing a fabulous job of running these Magics off the three-point line every possession.
Green and Turkoglu. Threw that baby away, and here comes Richardson.
And he expected Westbrook to cut to the basket.
Howard. 0 of 1 so far. Kristich, and they'll double him with Westbrook. Richardson. Kristich with another rebound. Westbrook was picked up by Richardson. And Howard is there to claim that. Magic with that trade, it was with 2 teams that brought in 4 new players, including that guy right there, Hedo Turkoglu, who had previously played with Orlando. Is Cephalosha, known for his defense, picks up his first personal foul. So here now we have some free throws coming up. Let's take a look at your musts for these 2 teams tonight.
Well, it's going to be about the easy points. The Thunder are 4th in fast break points. Orlando, they give up the fewest fast break points. A three-point shooting night. We already seen the Thunder with multiple efforts and running off the Orlando shooters off that three-point line. And tonight, it's a stars game. You got Dwight Howard, who had 29 and 20 last night. He mentioned his third 20-20 game of the season, and Kevin Durant leading this league in scoring. Both players have to step up for their respective teams.
Howard's got to stay out of foul trouble too. That's always big every night for the Magic.
Remember, no Marcin Gortat was in that trade. Not a lot of size left on that bench.
Nice defense by the Magic, and that's the third turnover. Here comes Bass inside. He drives into Green and forces the issue. With 6:14 to play, Green will pick up his first. Former Big East Player of the Year, Jeff Green from Georgetown, and they've been talking a lot about him every night as he plays the four, plays the power forward position. It's a tough matchup. He is undersized. His natural position is the small forward.
Well, if you look at the recent games going against Zach Randolph of the Memphis Grizzlies, no rebounds. Last night against Luis Scola, 31 points. He had 0 rebounds against Scola. So at times when he's going against the physical power forwards, he's getting outmatched. But you see tonight when Hedo Turkoglu at times will move to that power forward position, it's going to be right up their alley when you have a Jeff Green. So they need bigger size, but there's pluses. He can switch on pick and rolls because of his quickness.
This is Durant. Not a lot of hesitation right there by Kevin, who has started 3 of 4. He's got a game-high 7 points. Here come the Magic. They've missed 5 in a row. Jameer Nelson. Gilbert Arenas is now on this Magic team, and he's the backup point. And sometimes they play Nelson and Arenas together at the same time.
Yeah, size doesn't matter on the size.
Oh, what a pass! And Turkoglu sends it up there. He had a game the other night against Dallas. Did Turkoglu with 17 assists. And we're talking about a guy who is 6'10".
Well, there's only one man in this building that could have gotten that. That ball was near the square. Nice finish there by Dwight Howard.
Westbrook is 1 of 4. It's Hedo Turkoglu. He's lost a little bit of weight. Really is comfortable in this offense. Howard with the rebound. That is a foul. It goes inside on Orlando. And the second goes on Howard, who's got to be very careful with his animated display.
Well, good start here by the Thunder, led by that man, Kevin Durant. 3 of 4 from the field with 7 points. And I said one man can go up and get this.
Right now, it's a 6-point advantage for the Thunder. Let's bring in the third member of our crew, the award-winning Craig Sager. Craig, good evening.
Well, thank you very much. Dwight Howard on the bench now with his second foul. The Thunder have a 6-point lead. Foul trouble has been a concern for Orlando all season long. Last night, Howard picked up his 12th technical foul, moving him 1 step closer to 16 and an automatic 1-game suspension. Dwight Howard got his arms tangled with Emeka Okafor, and when he broke free, he was assessed a technical foul. Magic President of Basketball Operations, Otis Smith, said it was a ticky-tack call, and he is hoping that it will be rescinded by the league, but he said he has not heard anything as of yet. Meanwhile, Howard last year picked up his 15th technical foul, but played the last 14 games of the season without a technical and avoided that 1-game suspension. Kevin?
Good stuff, Craig. Thank you. Gilbert Arenas has checked in for Richardson. They go inside, and Kristich is getting some nice looks on that doorstep, but can't get it to go, and out of bounds it does go. Let's talk about the trade that the Magic made. It was done obviously to help now. A lot of it was done, though, to show Dwight Howard that, you know, guys like Arenas can make this situation pretty attractive, you know, in Orlando. We're seeing what's going on with right now Carmelo in Denver.
Well, I think, you know, Otis Smith is looking at the situation with Carmelo. He's looking what happened with Chris Bosh and LeBron James in their 2 respective organizations, and they're just trying to surround Dwight with quality players to show him we're trying to get better and we're trying to win it now.
Anderson has come in for Howard. A miss right there by Westbrook, and a nice little tap in by Kristich, the player from Serbia, now in his 7th season. He's got 8 rebounds, does Kristich, with 6 points. Nelson, nice pass inside to Anderson. Great defense by Westbrook. Here comes Russell the other way. He's like a runaway freight train. He can get a head of speed on him, and no one can stop him. He is strong, he is fast, and he was fouled right there as he was taking it to the rack in Arenas. Picks up his first foul for Orlando.
Well, not only does he get the block at one end, but gets the basketball, runs the break, outruns everyone, and then gets fouled. That's how fast this man is.
He is something else. Plus 10 on the rebounding category, too, for the Thunder. That is a big category to watch tonight. Here's a look at the upcoming national TV schedule. Tomorrow night on ESPN, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Dallas, San Antonio, and Portland will take on Phoenix. NBA TV on Saturday. As Kristich will take a breather. 7:30 Eastern, Miami at Chicago. You can go to NBA.com/fan-night and vote for the matchup you want to watch on Tuesday, January 18th. Voting ends at midnight Eastern.
Christian's going to the bench with 9 rebounds already in this first period, and you come in with a more athletic center in Serge Ibaka.
And the biggest lead right now for the Thunder. This right there by Hedo Turkoglu, who is 0 of 2. And the speed of Westbrook the other way. He's in the glass, and that was over Brandon Bass.
I always ask myself and talk to my friends, who's faster with the basketball, Derrick Rose or Russell Westbrook? I mean, flip a coin.
Well, what do you think? Here's a Anderson 3, and at 6'10" to have that kind of range is sweet. Orlando up until that time was shooting 23%, now up to 28% and down by 9.
Well, do I have to pick one?
Well, go ahead, just go out on that limb. And here comes an alley-oop. It's Westbrook as he finds the flying Durant off the baseline.
I'm taking them both.
Holy Toledo. On every cylinder, the Thunder with great offensive play.
Well, this is not the start that stands
for the Orlando Magic. You look at the 9 points right there. That's amongst the best in the NBA in terms of first quarter scoring.
Well, you always want your best player, and in this particular case, Kevin Durant, to get off to a quick start. That means your team is engaged offensively early. 9 points leads the league in first quarter scoring, Kevin Durant.
Couple substitutions right now. James Harden is going to come in. He's going to take the place of Cephalosha, so he's out there with Westbrook and Durant, Green, and Ibaka. J.J. Redick is going to come on the floor as you take a look at the rebounding right here. And this has been a big story because 17-2, the Thunder on top when they out-rebound. And tonight they're plus 11 in that category.
I give a lot of credit to the guy on the bench, Nene Christian, especially at the offensive end, keeping balls alive and so forth. So very engaged at both ends of the floor, the Oklahoma City Thunder in this first period.
Nice play right there by Ryan Anderson. He's out of Cal. He was a Pac-10 first-team selection. He's taking the place right now in the middle along with Bass. Harden picks up the foul, number 1.
This is something you won't see a lot from Anderson, taking the ball off the dribble. Normally he's camped out behind that three-point line, but recognizing that they're struggling offensively from downtown, doing a good job of putting the ball on the floor.
Let me ask you now about Orlando. They traded some size. A lot of people think that overall they may be a little bit too small since they made that trade. What do you think?
Well, obviously when you're in the Eastern Conference going against the Boston Celtics who have all that size, but that's a lot of size that anyone's going to be going against. I don't think Otis Smith is done as Ibaka knocks down the long jumper.
If they can find the right guy.
If they can find the right guys, you know, they've been throwing out names that Stan really isn't happy with. And look, they just came off a 9-game winning streak. So things are still clicking for them. But once you get into the playoffs, and look, Dwight Howard, 2 quick fouls, he's to the bench. You're going to need a quality backup come playoff time.
Ibaka picks up his first. We'll take a look at the 9-3 record since the December 18th trade. Gone, Vince Carter, Pietrus, Gortat, and then Rashard Lewis goes to the Washington Wizards. And there's the former Wizard, Gilbert Arenas, who is on this team. He still has not really found his stroke with this Orlando ball club.
Well, if you look over the last 3 seasons for Gilbert Arenas, from all the injuries and suspensions, he hasn't played a lot of basketball. And I think, to his credit, then getting traded early on in the season and trying to figure out a new system, it's been difficult. And even if you ask him, he knows he's struggling, but he's just happy to be in a new environment. And I think this is a huge weapon for the Magic for him to be coming off the bench. This is a guy that averaged almost 30 points for 2 or 3 years straight.
Nick Collison is coming for the first time. Arenas got his hand on that, and outside they go. Ibaka. And picked up by Bass with Arenas and Anderson and Richardson and J.J. Redick, who has been shooting well the last couple games. He has been struggling. Bass with an Ibaka rebound. Outlet goes to Westbrook. And Arenas is right there. Collison. Ibaka. You know, Collison, so unselfish and does so much. He's the elder statesman of this team and a valued asset to this Oklahoma City ball club. And there's a foul on Harden, who picks up his second personal foul. He just came off the bench. We'll take a look at Mo Cheeks. On the right-hand side, Scott Brooks, the head coach.
We'll talk about Carlson doing all the little things here. There's 3 Orlando Magic defenders. Pump fakes and gets the ball to Ibaka for the finish. It's those little things that help your team win. You don't need to call plays for Nick Collison. He doesn't get upset when he doesn't get enough touches. It's all about the little things that helps your team prevail and win.
Westbrook will take a breather. Eric Maynard has come in for the first time with Harden and Collison, Durant, and Ibaka.
They just keep getting younger and younger off that Thunder bench. You know, they have 10 guys that are 24 or younger on this team. And last week we had the Sacramento Kings, and we're wondering what's the difference between them. They're a young team. Why can't they win? Well, when you have true superstars, you might have good players on these young teams like Memphis and Minnesota, but you have superstars on this Thunder team.
Wait till they try to re-sign a lot of these guys. That's going to be a real
that's
joy.
what Sam Presti's going to really be tested.
Right.
Trying to keep everyone happy.
Durant. Kevin Durant puts in a 2. He's got a game-high 11. He's at 5 of his first 6 shots for Oklahoma City.
Very efficient.
And Anderson from 3. Nice shot by Ryan Anderson. He was in the rotation. He was out of the rotation. He got healthy. Now he's back in the rotation.
Twisted his ankle, and now he's back, as you said, back in the rotation. And to spread the floor with his shooting, very valuable.
Magic with a foul to give. 43 seconds to play here in the first quarter, which you've seen the Thunder from the floor shoot 50%. Durant. Oh! How about that? A defender planted right in front. And Kevin Durant has 14 first quarter points. Also can drive inside as they slash in. Arenas. Big lead for the Thunder, 12. Magic never on top. Each team playing the second of a back-to-back.
I'm trying to get the ball to Kevin Durant. He's got the smaller Jason Richardson on him. He can just shoot right over him.
And he's feeling it. Look at that.
That is smooth and silky.
16 first quarter points. It's Arenas. And that is a 3 by Gilbert Arenas. And the second 3 knocked in by the Magic. So Kevin Durant, it showed you before, he is the #1 first quarter scorer in the NBA. It's a full house in the city tonight. And Oklahoma City on top of Orlando 35-27. Durant's 16 points.
Challenge the shot, rebound and run. Russell's the only guy really running it. We can get layups, I'm telling you, we can get layups. We run the first quarter, it's gonna pay off in the fourth quarter.
Coach's Corner. I'm here with Stan Van Gundy. 35 points. Now what we're used to seeing by your team, but how do you stop Kevin Durant? He's got 16.
Yeah, obviously we don't know.
What changes we make? We have to double team him?
Well, we're going to try to, but most of what he's getting is up top, off the dribble. That's a tough place to come and double.
All right, thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
7 of 8 for Kevin Durant. 16 first quarter points. He was terrific. 9 rebounds by Kristich. 6 points for Westbrook. We've got 2 fouls on Dwight Howard. The bench of the Magic have been terrific. They're plus 13 points. But the guard play, really, from the starters, Richardson and Nelson, nothing so far. Redick has put in 2. He begins the second quarter and quickly nails one from 2.
Also plus 11 for the Thunder on the boards. plus 12 in all the effort areas, points in the paint, second chance points, fast break points.
Second chance points, Oklahoma City is plus 8 points. Here is Harden. Nice play for the forward, Pac-10 player of the year. High draft pick by this Oklahoma City Thunder team.
Well, for some reason, started the season basically in a slump. You look over the last 15, 16 ball games, averaging about 12 points, shooting about 50% from the field, Jeff Harden.
So we've got Richardson, Howard, Arenas, Anderson, J.J. Redick, the Magic Five. And here is Maynard in, Collison with a screen. Green is in, along with Ibaka and James Harden. And that's a foul. The shot clock was down to 8. And Arenas will pick up his second personal foul with a look at Stan Van Gundy. He became the head coach back in 2007 after Billy Donovan accepted, then rescinded the offer to become a head coach.
You know, it's interesting with these second units on the floor now, especially for the Thunder, when Durant and Westbrook go to the bench. This is the time for Jeff Green, who's sometimes the odd man out offensively, to step up, as well with Harden finding that offensive shooting late. This is time for them to
take a little more breathing space.
Yeah, a little bit more breathing space, because once those other two guys come back in, it's tough to find shots.
I think it's tough for a guy like Scott Brooks with a young team like this to get these young players to buy into very defined roles.
It's very tough, but he has done it, because he said to Kevin Durant, "You're our closer, our best player. The ball's going to be in your hands. Russell, you're our second best player. You run the team. You run this offense." As Richardson knocks down the long three,
his first points of the game.
And he tells Jeff Green, "Look, you know, there's not going to be a lot of plays called for you, but you're so versatile and talented that we need you." And he's told everyone that, and they accepted that.
Harden fans on the three. Leaking early was Anderson after Arenas got that loose ball. Redick, Richardson, another triple. Anderson with an offensive rebound. Arenas launches the three. Another offensive rebound. Anderson again.
This is what kills you if you're the Thunder. You can't give this team second and third opportunities with as much firepower as they have.
The Magic love taking threes. They're number one in the league in shooting them.
Well, they're back to their old ways. You know, early on the season before the trade, they were playing inside out, basically going to Dwight Howard and really not knocking down a lot of threes. Now, since the trade, with all this firepower, they're playing from the outside in.
Here's Green. Making a move on Richardson, who was bodying up on him, and that'll be a foul on Richardson, who's bounced around the league a little bit and picks up his first personal foul. TNT Tuesday, television's most fearless series is back on TNT. Don't miss an all-new Southland. That's Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, only on TNT, with Green at the free throw line for Oklahoma City, a 50-win team last season. They became the darlings of the NBA and embraced ball club nationally. This year they become, you know, a different kind of team now. They are targeted by a lot of ball clubs, including a good team like Orlando.
They are the hunted, no longer the hunter, and that means each and every night, speaking to head coach Scott Brooks, I like this situation. I like being in this situation because our team understands that each and every night we have to bring our best. We just can't sneak up on players anymore.
Howard across the lane, playing with the two fouls, picked up by Harden.
I'm trying to be aggressive. See if I can pick up Dwight Howard's third foul.
Good point, Painter. Collison. Beautiful move by Nick Collison. Began on the injured list this season, back in, and just really gives this team a great balance, doesn't he, with his experience in the NBA.
How about the body control?
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Pump fake, couple dribbles in. I mean, this is just, you know, for a power forward right here. He's not as gifted offensively as, say, a Jeff Green, but how about the presence of mind to take it a couple dribbles, the defense comes over, side sweeps him, and gets in for the lay-in.
Seventh-year player out of Kansas, where was the Big 12 Player of the Year. Maynard just picked up his first personal foul. Here's Anderson, launching from outside. Ryan Anderson hitting the shot. He was a high pick by New Jersey. His rights traded to Orlando. He's out of Cal. And with that three right there, he closes the gap ever so slightly. The Magic, at one time, down by 12. And with that three right there, they come to within 7. So the long shot. Welcome back to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where our broadcast tonight on TNT is brought to you by the U.S. Marine Corps. There is our score. Magic never leading. Thunder up by as many as 12. Van Gundy's crew getting back in the game with the 3 ball. They've knocked in 5 already.
Well, thanks to Ryan Anderson off the bench, 3 of 4 from downtown. And this is one part of concern for Scott Brooks. He really wanted to run the Magic off that 3-point line. It's heavy in rotation for them, especially when you have Dwight Howard down low, where he's going to have so much attention drawn to him, and those guys are knocking down shots. It's going to make it that much more easier for him to get the basketball.
Turkoglu has come in the game for Richardson. Here is Green working on Turkoglu. Shot clock down to 4. Collison with the screen, the switch on defense, the double on Harden. 24-second shot clock violation. Stan Van Gundy told us during the pregame that controlling the pace from an Orlando perspective, and then don't hold the ball. We need ball movement side to side.
Well, what did we say? They're 17-2 when they have more assists than their opponents.
Good point.
So you've got to get the ball from side to side. At times you do got to play inside out with Dwight Howard, but the ball can't stick.
Turkoglu. Arenas over Maynard with a wide open 3. That's the 6th belted in by the Magic tonight. Now 6 of 12, they're within 4.
Yeah, people always ask, why is Hedo playing so much better with the Magic than when he was with his stint in Toronto and Phoenix? The ball is in his hands. He can control the action. At that 6'10 frame, being able to see the defense, see over the defense, he's making plays for the Magic.
How many guys 6'10 can have that pass? Count it! Redick picks up the foul. Harden will get the 2 right there.
Initially, good defense by J.J. Redick, but Harden doing a good job of drawing the contact right here. Right there, he stays down on the fake, goes up. A little bit of a leg scissor there by Harden.
World be free.
World be free.
Did you do that when you were shooting?
I don't know what you're talking about, Kev.
I know it. Here is Harden at the free throw line for the Thunder. Collison will take a breather, and here comes Durant back in. If you're just joining us, Durant was terrific in the first quarter. 7 of 8, 16 points, and had a great stroke to begin things here in Oklahoma tonight.
I don't think any Magic defender even touched him. You've got to put hands on Kevin Durant.
A lot of it on top of the circle as Howard goes inside on Ibaka. Oh, that's a strong move by Dwight Howard.
Serge did the right thing. I think he felt that he had him wrapped up right here. Looked like he had the block shot, but look at the strength of Dwight Howard to finish this play and even get the ball on the rim.
There you get a guy like, and he's not much of a free throw shooter, but he gets the 2 right there. But, you know, the big story with him this year really has been the number of technical fouls. You alluded to it earlier. He's got 12 tees on him already.
Sags was alluding to this. He has 12. He had 3 already rescinded, and we looked at that technical foul from last night, which was very ticky-tack. But he's almost at the magic number. He's got to be very careful.
Westbrook, who is in for Maynard. Green on the move. Howard picks up the rebound. Number 4 for Dwight. Arenas, 3 of 4, 3 of 5 with the miss right there. Ryan Anderson. Where the pace just changes when Westbrook's on the floor for this offense, doesn't it? Plus he can do so much, and he finds an open Ibaka.
Well, that's what he's going to have to do. He's got to continue to push the pace.
Magic shooting 43%, Thunder shooting 51%. Good find, Anderson. And Gilbert Arenas has caused problems for Scott Brooks in the Thunder since he's come in the game.
Well, note to file Scottie Brooks in the Thunder. Anderson was a scorer in his days at Cal. He can play a little bit. He is in the league.
But I got to tell you, Arenas, 11 minutes, 3 of 5, 9 points and 4 assists with Westbrook knocking one in from outside. And he now has 3 of 7 in 12 minutes for Russell Westbrook. So Arenas playing a very effective game.
Well, not only Arenas, but Anderson off the bench for Stan Van Gundy.
Arenas for 3. Offensive rebound. That's yanked in by Howard. The defending defensive player of the year. Redick can't hit. Redick is Been struggling with his shot lately in the last couple games. Is 2 of 13 shooting threes. And tonight off the bench, 1 of 3. Oh, what a beautiful up and under on the reverse by Kevin Durant. He's got a game-high 18.
And he was licking his chops when he saw that Ryan Anderson was guarding him in transition. Off the bench for the Magic, it's been the Anderson Arena show, knocking down a 3. And at the other side for the Thunder, yeah, I made a few jump shots.
We got to do some of the toughness things to win this game. We're just getting out of their way. Come on. Let's come out of this with a stop. Hey, we're scoring enough points. We're not getting any stops.
And toughness usually relates to defense and rebounding.
And those are all the small little things. And on top of that, you've got the Thunder shooting 54%. You got to move your feet, put a body on someone.
Kristich has come back in the game, and his purpose is to watch Dwight Howard. And Howard now with 7 points and 4 rebounds. Ibaka has taken a seat on the bench for Kristich. Turkoglu got another assist, by the way, on that basket by Howard. Here comes Westbrook, and finding this over Jameer Nelson, who just checks in.
I'm surprised they don't go to that more often. There's a couple dribbles, and Westbrook can just shoot over Jameer Nelson.
Nelson, Richardson, Turkoglu with it. That's going to be an over and back right there. Or they say they tapped. I thought it went right off his knee.
It looked like it.
And Turkoglu to Howard. Fighting inside for loose balls, and 4:45 to play here in the first half. He's a tough coach, and these are tough numbers.
Well, you see their defensive rates, they're always in the top 5 in that, but tonight they're a -8 in rebounds and second chance points. And those are all the little areas. Now remember, Dwight Howard picked up 2 quick fouls and had to go to the bench. So that was affecting some of those numbers.
Kristich just picked up his second personal. Screen by Howard, and it was up high. Shot clock is down to 5. Quick double, and that's a foul on Westbrook. And we were told tonight by Scottie Brooks, every time he touched the ball, they were going to send somebody else in. That time it was Westbrook, and a foul goes on Russell for the first time.
Remember in the first period, Westbrook came up with that steal as soon as the ball went in, but it was on a couple dribbles.
Yep.
That time the ball had just gone in without the dribble. Want to wait till Howard puts the ball on the floor before you come.
Magic plus 12 and 3-point shooting tonight. Nelson can't get it from point-blank range. There's a pickup by Durant. And here comes Westbrook the other way. Fast break points have really not been a big story in this game. Only a total of 6. He finds Durant, held inside, almost had it. Hopping on his pogo stick with one leg up in the air and one leg keeping him balanced. And there's a foul called on Turkoglu.
And this was a design play right here for a back door for Durant. That was just eye contact from Durant and Westbrook. Nice pass there by Russell. Almost an even better finish by Durant.
And don't miss this Sunday's NBA League Pass Spotlight game as the Lakers take on the Clippers. 3 o'clock Eastern time. To get NBA League Pass, call your local cable, satellite, or telco provider and log on to NBA.com/League Pass.
Let's not forget, this is the best free throw shooting team. 11 of 12 tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder going against arguably one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the Magic.
Turkoglu on the fly. As Durant now has 20. Westbrook has 10. 14 off the bench for Anderson, who has hit 3 3-point hits.
I'm sorry, not only do they shoot the best free throws, but they get fouled 30 times a game.
Green. And Howard collects another rebound. That's number 5 for him with his 7 points. Had 2 early fouls. Had to sit a good portion of that first quarter into the second. Turkoglu again. Cephalosha back in for the Thunder. Kristich and Cephalosha double team, as we've talked about. Howard down low. You know, we're talking about the toughness thing of Orlando. Think about what their season has been like. They had the trade, which is always disruptive, regardless of how harmonious you may be. Cephalosha picks up number 2. A virus went through the team. They had a game canceled by a slippery floor. Another game was canceled because of falling debris. They had a snowstorm that stranded their bus. I mean, if anything, this team has been very resilient this season.
And yet they just lost last night and was going into that game with a 9-game winning streak. So that shows you the commitment that Stan Van Gundy and the rest of this Magic teams have. They've bought into it. They've brought in new players. You see Gilbert Arenas, Jason Richardson, Turkoglu comes back to this team, and they found a way offensively to gel. Now, slowly but surely, defensively, they're starting to understand his concepts. Once they figure that out, this is going to be a very tough out in the playoffs.
Craig, what do you think about the backup center position for Orlando, which a lot of people think is really going to hurt him?
Well, when you're talking about earlier, I went to Otis Smith, who's standing right in front of me, and I asked him about that. And he said, well, right now, Malik Allen is in their plans. He's missed the last 12 games with a sprained left ankle. They expect him to come in and sub for Dwight Howard when he gets in foul trouble. Because you got to remember, if he's not in foul trouble, that position is only about 4 or 5 minutes a game. As for trade talks, he goes, I am not actively pursuing them, but if somebody comes up with something, let me know.
And some team might. As Kristich has his 8 points and 9 rebounds. Richardson with another triple from outside. And Jason Richardson with 6. And the three-point shooting now plus 15 points beyond the arc for the Orlando Magic.
Well, the tag team with Craig Sager is saying as well, you don't want him, Dwight Howard to be playing a lot of minutes as well either. Overtime game last night, he got up to 46, 47 minutes. A lot of minutes early on, especially coming in the back-to-back.
Howard inside, got great position on Kristich. You know, that's one of the things for big men. When they stake their claim, getting that initial position is such a big deal to their success.
Well, when Dwight Howard can post you up basically underneath the rim, what are you going to do?
You always hear about, you know, hey, push the big guy out, get him out of his comfort zone.
Easier said than done. I'll tell you what's not easier.
Talked about their offense a lot, but defensively, we've seen some slippage from last year to this.
Yeah, a lot of this, you know, could go towards Ron Adams, who was an assistant coach under Scott Brooks, who went to be an assistant coach under Thibodeau in Chicago. And, you know, he held all these players accountable at the defensive end, and you know, they're getting better at it. But tonight, the Magic, we talked about 7 of 15, and wanting to run them off that three-point line. It's been a big problem for them early on in the season.
There's Durant, Green is out there, Kristich, Cephalosha, Westbrook, that's the 5. All starters for Oklahoma City. J.J. Redick is with Nelson. Bass is out there, Richardson, and Howard. Howard coming off a 29 and 20 rebound performance last night. He has got 10 and 5 so far. 2 early fouls set on the bench. Here is Jameer Nelson. I think really he has been as responsible as anybody with a nice rebound by Howard, who shows it inside, and he was surrounded by Thunder defensive players.
Well, you've got to grab Dwight Howard, understanding he's only a 55–60% free throw shooter. Send him to the free throw line.
10 in the second quarter for Howard. Here is Westbrook. Nelson is watching. Shot clock is down to 9. J.J. May coming up. What a pass to Cephalosha. Cutting inside and slashing for 2.
Well, he looked off Kevin Durant, and I think all the eyes were focusing on Durant, and Cephalosha doing a good job of cutting down the basket with the finish.
Redick off a screen. Bass, and no one comes out on him. Green clutches onto it. Oklahoma City has shot 64%. So the defense of Orlando, which is a strong suit, not really flexing much muscle tonight. Defensively, they have not had the kind of game, and they're a top 10 defender in all the significant categories. And this Kristich, this is found money with 10 points and 9 rebounds.
Found money is pretty good. I mean, just a simple brush screen, and Dwight Howard is not going to leave that paint area.
Jameer Nelson. I mean, don't you think he has really had an effect on this team? We talk about the overall excellence of the Magic. Nelson is right there with Howard in that conversation.
Well, he doesn't get a lot of credit because he doesn't do anything really sexy, but he's steady. Stan Van Gundy trusts him. He understands his teammates, and he gets everyone involved.
Westbrook looking for a screen, and Durant was going to lay some wood. Shot clock down to 4 over Nelson. Westbrook hits another. He's gone 6 of 10 with 14. Durant with 21. Kristich with 10. 59% shooting for the Thunder in this first half.
But yet they only lead by 7. That's because of the three-point shooting of the Orlando Magic.
Little 20-second timeout here, 8 seconds to play in this first half, and I think we're going to take a little trip down to our TNT arena. The award-winning Ernie Johnson is standing by. EJ, take it away. Oh, we're going to a break instead. Was told one thing, we're going to do another.
They're not ready for us.
You got to be light on your feet in this job. Said to us, but we're looking forward to it. Nonetheless, we're looking forward to it. So the shot clock and the game clock are one and the same. No fouls to give either way. There's a look at Jason Richardson. Loud, college-like atmosphere inside this building. Always has been.
Well, if you're Stan Van Gundy, you're not happy with 64 points at halftime.
Redick for three. Good! JJ with 1.2 to play. That's a good-looking three. We'll count if it goes, and Green can't get it to fly through. As Redick off the bench with 7 points in 11 minutes. And the shooting has been terrific by both squads. The Thunder at one time led by 12, up by 4. That's the end of the first half here in Oklahoma City. We'll take you to each. Our broadcast tonight on TNT is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. We're in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Thunder up by 4, led by as many as 12. Second quarter led by as many as 10. And then the Magic went on to hit 5 second quarter threes to work into a 4-point game here at halftime. Now, Kevin Durant was terrific in the first quarter. Very quiet in the second, only 1 of 1 from the floor.
Well, it was almost like a walk in the park for him. There was really no defense being played on him. And what I like is it came all easy. Alley-oop here. Nice look over there by Westbrook. Too much space by Brandon Bass. And right here, a slower defender. Let me just take the ball off the dribble for the nice reverse. And what I've liked in the second period for Dwight Howard is how he came alive and was aggressive offensively. The strength to get the and one. I'm going to post Christians right up underneath the hoop. And here, when I'm at my best, on the offensive glass and for the finish. 12.6 rebounds for Dwight Howard.
Howard had 10 in that second quarter, and through our first 24 minutes tonight, you see that the Thunder have shot 58%. In the first quarter, they shot 54%. Where is the Orlando defense, which is 5th in points allowed, and Craig Sager 5th in field goal defense, as we swing it over to you.
I'll tell you where that defense will be. Stan Van Gundy agreed with Reggie Miller that it was a walk in the park for Kevin Durant. He will be mugged here in the second half. He said our players are afraid to get up close to him because they're afraid of fouling him. He said that will not be the case. You know, Turkoglu has 2 fouls, Jason Richardson only 1. Those 2 guys will be assigned to Kevin Durant, and they will be up on him as close as they can get, and then they will also get help. The big turnaround for Orlando, that first quarter they gave up 6 offensive rebounds and 9 second chance points to Oklahoma City. Second quarter, none. Kevin?
Interesting stuff, Craig. Thank you very much. You talk to people around the NBA, officials and others, and they're talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. They say it is a no-excuses team. He said they're easy to officiate, not a lot of complaining, but they don't offer any excuses. Even in the press, they say, you know what, I screwed up. I'll take it on me. And that's a very attractive element of this ball club.
Well, and coming from a very young ball club, you don't see that a lot. You know, you see a lot more complaining and guys, you know, wanting touches and, you know, superstar treatment. This team comes out and plays, and it's all led by number 35, Kevin Durant. The first to practice, the last to leave. He works in the weight room, and everyone has to follow suit.
That's Turkoglu with the launch. It's picked up by Westbrook. Westbrook out there with Green, Kristich, Cephalosha, and Kevin Durant. And out there for Orlando to begin the second half. Turkoglu and Nelson, Howard and Bass, and Jason Richardson going inside. Good defense there by Orlando.
There was some of that swarming defense that Stan Van Gundy's been looking for.
It's the first turnover by either team in about 9 minutes of this game. There's a foul.
Brandon Bass has missed 3 or 4 wide open 15-footers.
And that's not been like him. I know he had his tough night shooting last night. The foul goes on Cephalosha for the 3rd time. But, you know, he has had a career year shooting the ball.
Not only in points, but minutes, rebounds. And for some reason, you know, especially the last 2 or 3 ball games, he hasn't been able to find the stroke offensively.
Wow, Westbrook takes a swipe at it, and then Durant is holding Howard. And there is the foul. Durant is every bit as tall as Howard. Yet Durant can play a 2-guard. He can bring the ball up as Kevin picks up his first personal. And at the free throw line, we've got Dwight Howard. He takes the most free throws of anybody in the NBA, and his percentage is about the lowest in the NBA. He really struggles with his shooting. Anyway, at the free throw line right now, he is 2 of 3 tonight from the stripe. And we'd like to tell you about the national TV schedule coming up on ESPN tomorrow. It all begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. Dallas, San Antonio, Portland, Phoenix. NBA TV on Saturday, 7:30. Miami, Chicago. That'll be kind of an interesting game in Chicago coming up this Saturday.
Well, let's hope that LeBron James is healthy enough to get back on the court. Not playing tonight in Denver against the Nuggets with the ankle injury.
Right. Last night he suffered that against the Clippers in the Heat. Lost to Los Angeles. I guess there was another monster game by the former Oklahoma Sooner. If you see a foul, and who is legitimately a rookie this year because he didn't play it all last season, Turkoglu picks up number 3, and that is Blake Griffin. Griffin was terrific with another double-double last night. Is he an all-star? Is Griffin an all-star?
Think about the power forward position in the Western Conference. Pau Gasol, he's a forward center. Blake Griffin, Kevin Love, who is playing unbelievable.
Cephalosha from outside for 2.
LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, there are some decisions to be made by these coaches. I don't think Powell will be voted in, so he obviously will have to be a coach's selection.
Well, you know he's going to be in the slam dunk contest. Here is Howard and Kristich, and will they double it? They did in the first half. Looked like Westbrook is going to run in there. That means he leaves Nelson free, and back inside to Howard with the rebound by Kevin Durant. That is his 3rd with his 21 points.
I know he missed that shot, but I like it. He didn't have this shot last season. And now he has that jump hook over left shoulder or right shoulder.
And Kristich, who was terrific shooting in the first half, missing from outside right there. They've gotten the 10 points out of him. That's like I said before, found money. They don't really count on him a lot for scoring, but Scott Brooks, who is the reigning NBA Coach of the Year, likes what he provides this team on both ends of the floor.
And he's still stuck on 9 rebounds. He had 9 rebounds in the first, 5 minutes.
That's a good point. Here is Turkoglu. Howard, inside-out ball club on this Orlando team, but they've got that perimeter game across the lane. Nice defense there by Kristich.
Yeah, and if you're Dwight Howard, you can't go away from the basket. You got to go towards the basket.
Westbrook. Kristich.
Now he has a double-double.
That's the Thunder's first offensive rebound since late in the first quarter. Kristich knocking one in. He's got 12. And Kristich from the wing puts it up and in for Oklahoma City. You're only averaging single digits, so what he's done tonight is over his seasonal average. Howard fighting triple team, draped with Thunder defenders, and he was fouled inside again. Is he a target? I mean, he's got the 12 teams. We talked about this in the first half. People around the team as the foul goes on Cephalosha for the 4th time with his defensive presence. Is he a target by this league?
I don't think he's targeted by this league, but he's just as much a target as Kevin Durant. Anytime you're going to get fouled a lot and you're going to garner a lot of attention like both superstar players are, people are going to focus out. Now, some of the gestures and antics that does cause technicals can lead you to believe, but if you look at Dwight Howard's NBA ranks, look, I mean, he's in the top 5 in most categories you want your superstars to be. In all the hustle areas, rebounds, blocks, getting to the free throw line, which in turn puts your teams in the bonus each and every quarter. So he does all the little things. So yeah, he's targeted to me in a good way because he's helping his team as he looks at his hand like, oh my goodness, I made 2 free throws.
And he's 6 of 7 tonight after we were just crushing him from the line. He's
I didn't question. Don't say we, you. You questioned him.
But we're a team. See, when you're a team, you live and die by your partner. Durant. Boy, catches that, pops it right up. He's got 23, 9 of 10. Kevin Durant.
Well, let's remember, Kevin Durant has always historically struggled against the Orlando Magic. I think he only averaged 17 points against them. And a lot of that was because Michael Petrus was guarding him. Now they really don't have that perimeter defender as Bass gets a dunk to go. So gone is that physical defender for the Orlando Magic and Stan Van Gundy and Petrus. Turkoglu is going to have to find a way defensively to stay with him.
Kristich from Durant.
Nice.
And the hockey assist to Westbrook.
Nice. I thought Durant could easily came down and went back up with that, but it's that unselfishness.
Magic 1 of 8 to start this second half. From the floor, here is a foul.
Talked about Kevin Durant. He's just so long at 6'10". See, if you're Hito Turkoglu, you got to keep hands on him. Not only get a hands up, but you got to put hands on him. And a nice little one-handed pass off the alley-oop from Westbrook. As you called it, the hockey assist to Kristich.
Harden is in for Cephalosha. Harden just picked up the foul. There's a good-looking penetrating drive inside by Jameer Nelson. He's been doing a lot of that. His game is, had all those things. He's penetrating. He's finding Howard. He's playing with Edu. He's making big shots. Kristich digs it out and goes back up, and it's fouled. And Turkoglu is in there trying to defend and pleads his case. We got Kristich at the line, and Edu Turkoglu picks up his 4th personal foul.
Kristich with already 14 points and 11 rebounds. And what a plus for Scott Brooks. Get that out of your starting center against Dwight Howard.
Here we are in Oklahoma City, which is the smallest NBA market. They've got the 6th lowest payroll. They've re-signed Kevin Durant. We'll talk more about that story in a second. But I mean, and you see this place filled up virtually every night. I mean, this is really, since they moved from Seattle, a great success story.
Well, it's really the only show in town, and this city has really had a love affair with this team. It started early when the Hornets came here because of the Hurricane Katrina and so forth, and now they've just fallen in love with this young, energetic, upstart team. And you know why? It's because they're good in the community and they work hard. And that's what people in small markets want. They just want your team to work hard. And that's exactly what Scottie Brooks and this Thunder team has done with all this young collection of talent.
Richardson with 8. And here is Green working on Bass. And Green, Craig Singer puts in his 6th point. What do you have? Craig.
Or not playing football at Oklahoma State. But Bob Stoops is here tonight, and I talked to him a few moments ago. He's a big Oklahoma City fan. He said when he gets through coaching college football, he wants to go work at a middle school and coach 9th grade basketball. He's here with his twin sons, Isaac and Drake. They're 11 years old. They're identical in every way but one. That's because Isaac, their next to dad, is a big Russell Westbrook fan. Meanwhile, Drake says his favorite player is Kevin Durant.
Good story. Nelson picks up the foul. That is his 1st. Had a chance to talk with the Oklahoma athletic director today, Joe Castiglione. They're building one project after another. That's about as stable an athletic program as you would find any place in the college landscape, college athletic landscape. And they attend a lot, and there's a lot of Oklahoma State fans here, and that's what has made this such a great meeting place. Those 2 terrific universities come here, and I mentioned back in the first half it is a college atmosphere, and a lot of it is fueled by Sooner fans and Cowboy fans.
But you've got young superstars in this market, and Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and that helps.
Reddit. Nice defense by Durant, numbers with Westbrook, and here he comes, held by Nelson. 2nd foul on Jameer. Well, Durant plays a physical game at any time.
Well, look at the hard, nice little shoulder shove there by Howard. But he doesn't give up on the play.
He has had an exhaustive summer representing the country overseas. Mike Krzyzewski has been a huge proponent of him, coaching this past summer at the World Championships. He was the MVP, led the U.S. to a crown. There's been some talk. He's still a young kid. Do they have to watch his minutes because he played so much this summer? A lot of competitive basketball.
Well, I like what Scott Brooks said. Yeah, man. So, yeah, he's young. Russell's young. If they weren't overseas in the World Championships playing, he says they would have been playing a lot of pickup basketball 2 or 3 times a day. So it would have been about the same amount. All they did was really end up winning a gold medal out of it, and he encouraged it. And Russell Westbrook said it was just a wonderful experience. So, when both of those players are only 22 years old, they can run all day.
Anderson is coming for Bass. Shot clock at 3. JJ got a Howard screen, the pick and roll. That's an offensive foul. Howard will pick it up. He's got 3. much to the chagrin of his coach, Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, and if you're Dwight Howard, you've got to understand that someone will have rotated over. Gather yourself, one dribble, and this is a dunk. Jump stop right there, one dribble, and he would have pounded it on the head of Dwight Howard.
How about Harden taking it inside? Harden finds himself surrounded by Magic defenders. Orlando back-to-back turns after none in a span of 17 minutes. So we got a 10-point game. Magic never on top. Thunder leading by as many as 12.
Organization. The fans do so much for us and supporting us. The least we can do is let them know that we're here and, we care for them. Just because, we play in the NBA doesn't mean we should change as people. We have an opportunity to tell them that we care and show them that we care. I think that means a lot. So I want to continue to just, try to get back and try to be the best person I can be.
If I would have told you that halfway through this third quarter that Kristich and Howard would have the same number of points, Kristich is 9 points over his average. Look at the record when he does score well and what it means to this team.
Well, let's just stop the game right now then. It's over. It's over.
Reg, I'm just pointing this stuff out here. I'm watching the game just like you. We had a little jump ball called, as you can see, and Westbrook will chase it to the other end. Shot clock is full at 20 seconds right now. 4 seconds off, and so here we go. 23 from Durant. We got 16 from Howard, 14 from Anderson off the bench. Anderson he doesn't score that much, and 14 is well over his seasonal average. And Kristich in the shot clock at 2. He's got to fire. He's got to fire. 24-second shot clock violation.
Well, excellent. Maybe their best defensive possession tonight for the Magic, and it really started with Jason Richardson crowding Kevin Durant, really getting into the chest, making him give up that basketball.
Howard is 5 of 11. Nelson is 2 of 8. Nice fake. Little mismatch on Green. Richardson for the 3. And now Oklahoma City trails by 21 points on three-point shooting beyond the arc. Plus 21 for Orlando in that category.
Yeah, but they're giving up 58% shooting to the other team.
Thank you. And that's how this game balances out. Yet it is still a 7-point advantage, reaching as high as 12 for the Thunder. Richardson, Howard held and fouled as he goes inside. Kristich will pick up number 3. So this will put the Magic at the line. When you look at Dwight Howard and you think about where he is right now, we talked before how the trade was to kind of give him some hope that this franchise will do whatever it takes to be good. If he doesn't re-sign this summer, Orlando and Howard will find themselves in the same situation that the Denver Nuggets find themselves in with Carmelo Anthony, with the chance that he may leave coming to 2012 in the case of Howard.
Well, let's take it a step further. They just built a state-of-the-art arena down there that they are filling up because of the presence of Dwight Howard and Jameer Nelson and the rest of these players with the Orlando Magic. So, yeah, they find themselves scratching their heads trying to surround this guy with enough talent to keep him happy.
That's a pretty significant issue. And we're seeing what Denver is going through. It's almost heartache to see what's going on with the Nuggets right now. But then you see someone like Durant who signs with a mid-major market, a mid-sized market, and was very happy here. And when he made the announcement that he re-signed, it was the extension very quiet.
Under the radar, pulled out his BlackBerry, tweeted it, I'm staying, signed the extension, I'm very happy, let's go Thunder.
Westbrook chases his own miss and puts it back up and in. He's got 20 points with 6 rebounds and 9 assists. Redick misses, offensive rebound by Howard.
Talked about Westbrook.
Oh, with a great feed and the flush. Howard now with 20, the double-double and 10 rebounds.
How many times a game is Dwight Howard going to get that spin out? It's 2-9 already for the easy follow-in dunk.
crowding Durant on the perimeter. Harden hits a three. James Harden, number 3 overall pick out of Arizona State. The last 15 games, he has been on a tear, averaging 13 points. Harden tonight with 8.
And that's been the one knock on this Thunder team is their three-point shooting.
Oh, nice dancing inside by Richardson.
See now, you've got Maynard and Westbrook out there. Westbrook has to guard Jason Richardson.
Richardson has put in 13. Anderson was defending in the corner and leaks the other way after the Howard rebound. That's his 11th. And Anderson down low. He began 3 of 4 from three-point territory, and he was fouled inside. 3:02 to play here in the third quarter. And that goes on Serge Ibaka, who is freshly in the game. He's got 3 here in this third quarter. TBS on Wednesday from executive producer Ice Cube. Comes a sitcom about one family's journey to get there. Don't miss brand new episodes of Are We There Yet? That's Wednesday at 10, 9 Central, only on TBS.
Good as Ryan Anderson is shooting the basketball from long distance, you would think he's a better free throw shooter than he is.
Arenas is coming for J.J. Redick.
We'll see if Anderson and Arenas can get it going like they did in the second period for Stan Van Gundy and his Magic team.
Westbrook with a screen by Ibaka. Westbrook with 22. 22 points on 15 shots.
Very efficient. Playing within himself.
Oh, the great block, Ibaka! Knock it away! 2 blocks in a row. Triggers the break. Harden for 3. And that is a foul on Harden, who is taking his leg and kicking out.
Well, he got an and 1 in the first period against J.J. Redick. And look at the spin here by Dwight Howard and the finish. Russell Westbrook just having a very efficient game. 22 points, 9 assists.
7 draft, they take Kevin Durant, number 2 in back of Greg Oden. Same draft, Jeff Green acquired in a draft day trade with Boston. In 08, Russell Westbrook, the 4th overall pick. Also, Serge Ibaka, the 24th overall pick. And in 09, number 3, James Harden out of Arizona State. That's the way they built with the GM. Here is the CEO, Clay Bennett. He and a group bought this team when they were in Seattle, moved them to Oklahoma City. And you mentioned before when the New Orleans team was here, as you take a look at Presty, when New Orleans was here, it sold the NBA that this was a viable NBA market.
Well, these fans are so passionate for their sports, obviously following Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, but to bring an NBA team here and the talent here, this team has just engulfed them, has supported them. Was one of the reasons why they pushed the Lakers to 6 games in the first round of the playoffs last year. It was tough to win in this building, and that's another thing that separates the Thunder from other young teams is Durant. 10 of 12 from the field, 25 points. Nothing that separates them. They win at home. They understand what it takes to win games, but mainly at home, they get it done.
Howard inside, powers one through, 22 points. He's got 4 dunks in the game. The Thunder, by the way, at home, 14 and 6 in this building. The Magic on the road, 10 and 8. As you take a look at points in the paint in this quarter. Orlando for the game in this third quarter, shooting 33%. Maynard is in. Ibaka left free to fire. Offensive rebound by Westbrook. He now has 7 rebounds, 9 assists, and 22 points. Ibaka. Howard is there with rebound number 12. Plus 18, the Magic in shooting threes tonight. Redick for 3. Anderson, the offensive rebound, rejected by Durant. And Kevin Durant with his first block tonight.
Well, he is 6'9", 6'10", and it's not going to always be Serge Ibaka blocking shots. Kevin Durant with that frame can use his size.
Gilbert Arenas defended by Maynard. And Gilbert is 3 of 7. And that's a foul. Goes on the Thunder as Durant
looking at Gilbert Arenas, I don't think he's fully 100% healthy.
Harden picks up number 5.
Just on that pump fake right there, 1 or 2 dribbles, he would have been at the rim. For all the injuries, Gilbert was one of the toughest guys to guard when he got into the paint. He's settling for a lot of jump shots now. I know this offense somewhat allows you to do that, but he just doesn't look 100% healthy.
Well, he's missed so many games over the last 3 years via, injury, suspension. And here he comes in the trade looking for a new start. His number is certainly not in. This is the 13th game he's played with the Magic. He's still under 10 points. And I guess Otis Smith has said, just work your way into shape and into the fabric of our team and show me what you can do in April and May, and we'll take it from there.
Well, what I like is he's accepted that role of coming off the bench. And a lot of people are wondering, well, what's going to go on with Jameer Nelson and himself? Well, they pretty much have split the minutes.
Westbrook is put in 24. With the 25 of Durant, the 16 of Kristich, those are the only 3 players for the Thunder in double figures. Redick with the pump fake in the drive. Westbrook with numbers into Arenas, and he floats. Westbrook with 26. That is a game high. Howard. And he's defended inside by Ibaka and Durant. That's a lot of length and counted for 2. And a foul on the play. Superman finds the deuce. He's got 24.
Well, Russell Westbrook, number 4 in the league with guards with points in the paint. And then at the other end, you think they're going to play for the last shot. Well, let's put the ball down to our big fella and let him get his and 1.
Ibaka has 4 fouls. How about Howard from the free throw line in this third quarter? 6 of 6 for the game, 8 of 9.
Well, I guarantee you that there aren't many other fans that are going to dress like that behind the basket extension. That's why this team and these fans love him.
I mean, he's a 57% free throw shooter, and tonight, 9 of 10 in a 13-point third quarter. No fouls to give either way. Cephalosha for 3 at the buzzer. Counted for 3. Cephalosha with 7. And as much as the Magic try to chisel away, the great shooting of Oklahoma City has prevailed. Oklahoma with the NBA on TNT presented by the United States Marine Corps. Thunder have left wire to wire so far, and by as many as 12. And moments ago, our Craig Sager caught up with the reigning Coach of the Year, Scott Brooks.
Well, Scott, a good job closing out the quarter with that 3 to make the lead 10 points again. But what concerns you about their 3-point shooting?
Everything, we haven't done a good job of taking them off the line, but that's what they do. They're a great 3-point shooting team, and you got Dwight rolling to the basket as well as anybody.
In the fourth quarter, a lot of teams will go to fouling Dwight Howard, but he's 9 for 10 from the line tonight. What's your philosophy going to be against him?
Well, not foul him. He's shooting the ball well tonight from the line, but you have to foul him if he has a layup. I'd rather put him on the line than give him a layup.
That makes a lot. Thank you, Kevin.
Reggie's talking about holding them to 3. Cephalosha a long 2 after making a 3 to conclude the third quarter. Cephalosha's got 9. Westbrook 26, 25 Durant. This ties the biggest lead by the Thunder tonight. The Magic only 1 of 2 in 3-point shooting in the third. So the defense of Oklahoma City is a little deuces put in there by Redick. The 3-point defense better by the Thunder in the third.
Well, I think at the half, Scott Brooks really got into his team about chasing those shooters of the Magic off that 3-point line. And they can settle for the 2s and Dwight Howard getting his and 1s, but they can't live with all these 3-pointers being shot by the Magic.
There's a little 3-second in there. It's called an Ibaka. With a turnover, number 9 for Brooks in the Oklahoma City Thunder. How about the rebounding in the game to another category that we find that when the Thunder rebound well, they usually win. They're plus 11 rebounding in this game.
And that's surprising, too, with a team with Dwight Howard, who gets so much rebounds and takes up so much space.
Turkoglu on the drive, and it's knocked away by Cephalosha. Here comes Westbrook. Back on defense, the Magic. Maynard. Right into Anderson. On the side, he had Dwight Howard. Come for 10:45 to play here in the fourth. They're going to put that foul on Anderson, who picks up his first. And here is Eric Maynor. You may recall him with that deadly dagger he shot against Duke in the NCAA tournament when he was playing for Coach Grant at VCU.
Really love what the Thunder, especially in the second half, attacking the basket and getting the bigs of Orlando in foul trouble.
You were talking about your star watch tonight. Here are the 3 stars in this game are doing, living up to the billing.
Well, we talked about Dwight Howard, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Remember, he missed those 2 free throws last night in the waning seconds of that game to win against the Hornets. And Westbrook's been a one-man fast break. And how about the start and so far the finish for Kevin Durant? Just a very efficient night, only missing 2 shots.
Westbrook, by the way, 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. What a play. Turkoglu, Nelson, Arenas for 3. Turkoglu taps it with another rebound offensively for the Orlando Magic. A lot of minutes tonight for Dwight Howard. He's played 33. At 48 last night in overtime. Boy, there he is. Again, they're sending that second defender. No surprise, but they have lived up to their pregame defensive instructions.
Well, what I like about that is you're sending Kevin Durant, another 7-footer down to help your 7-footer out. So this is size on size right here to come help out on Dwight Howard. But you can't send guards because he can just either take the guards up with you when you try to foul him or look over the defense. But when you send size like Kevin Durant, somewhat bother your shot.
Durant picks up his second personal fouls. Here is Howard. 9 of 10 from the line. Double-double, 20 now, 26 points. And 12 rebounds for the Magic. Come into tonight, number 4 in the Eastern Conference. Second place in the Southeast Division. Back of Miami. 4 games in back of the Heat. The numbers on Howard. And the Thunder, number 4 in the Western Conference. They're tied in first place in the Northwest with Utah.
And you start to scratch your head. How did Dwight Howard shoot 57% on the season? Misses 2 critical free throws last night. But tonight he's 11 of 12 from the free throw line.
Westbrook to Durant. What a pass! What a pass by Westbrook. And Durant's got 27 and 12 assists from Russell Westbrook. Back to a 12-point lead. He's won the biggest by the Thunder tonight. Nelson. Howard wrapped by Maynor. Again, they'll put him in. Second on Maynor. I love the way the Thunder moving the ball tonight.
Well, everyone's moving. Everyone's touching the basketball. And what kind of hard play is this to defend when you've got your 2 best players in a pick and roll? How is the defense going to rotate over? Slight over rotation there by Dwight Howard. And the easy finish there for Kevin Durant.
You've been on teams, Reggie, that have made big mid-season trades. How long did you find it took your coach, and you played for a couple of Larry Brown and Isiah Thomas and others, how long does it take a team to really bring this group in as Otis Smith made that move? How long does it take to really make them a part of your team, the chemistry part of it?
Sometimes it can take the rest of the season. And I've been somewhat surprised and shocked how quickly this Orlando Magic team has gelled and meshed. And that's all because of their leader and head coach, Stan Van Gundy, and Dwight Howard getting everyone on page early on.
Nice defense by Nelson. And then, of course, we talk about chemistry. Everyone talks about the great chemistry with the Thunder.
Well, young collection of talent. And again, we always talk about them knowing their roles. They're gym rats, you know? And there's really not anything to do. Everyone's in the gym working on their game.
Turkoglu at the block. 9.5 to play. Arenas with the shot clock down to 10. Ibaka and Howard. They'll send somebody else. This time they just leave going one-on-one, and that's when it was exploited by Howard.
You're going to play him one-on-one and let Ibaka just play him like that. He's just going to go straight into your body.
Pick and roll with Ibaka and Westbrook. The pick and roll defense has been a concern for Stan Van Gundy and his Orlando D.
Well, really, both of these teams are playing fantastic pick and roll offense, but the pick and roll defense has suffered. Late on rotations, late on talking, no help. Therefore, everyone's getting in foul trouble, especially the bigs on both ends.
Arenas picks up his third. Here is Ibaka. at the free throw line, coming off the bench tonight. 4 points, first trip to the stripe, 19 minutes. Couple of block shots. TNT programming reminder coming up next. They'll take you to Denver with the voice of the NBA, Marv Albert. We'll have the Heat and the Nuggets for you. Then next Monday, a couple of beauties. Orlando at Boston, and then the same Thunder team against the Los Angeles Lakers. Coverage will start at 8 o'clock Eastern. The NBA tip-off presented by AutoTrader.com.
I believe our studio show with Ernie and Charles and Kenny will be at that Oklahoma City Martin Luther King and Laker game in LA. Taking the show on the road.
Going back to the number 1 against the number 8 seed playoff matchup. There's a good-looking 3 by Nelson outside. And Jameer Nelson with 7 points, 3 of 9 tonight. Nelson averages a pretty good number, but tonight he is staggered just a bit, averaging about 13 a game. It's Durant over Turkoglu for 3. Westbrook just about had the rebound. And just about had a triple-double.
Something like Ice Cube in here.
Here we go the other way. Westbrook. Westbrook with 28 points, and here is Nelson, who moments ago laces up a 3. And this is how Oklahoma City answers.
One man.
A day, you know, I know where he wants the ball. He know where I wants the ball. We have eye contact with each other in transition situations where he wants to throw the lob, and you know he throws no-look passes, and I know where they're going to be, you know, in the exact time. And you know, we played with each other for 3 years. You know, like I said, our chemistry is growing every day.
We've seen some great shooting tonight by Westbrook, and with his 28, and Kevin Durant with his 27, and both have been very accurate. Durant 11 of 15, Westbrook 11 of 18. As we said before, just a rebound shy of a triple-double.
Well, there's going to be a lot of coaches with a lot of sleepless nights trying to stay up and come up with game plans as these two superstars, and I'm calling them superstars, mature.
Nice looking 3. Now 21-point advantage beyond the arc for Orlando. But it just shows you how well Oklahoma City is shooting. 58% throughout the game. They've been well over 50%. 44% shooting for the Magic. Westbrook with the drive and the foul on the Magic.
See how much pressure he puts on you? I mean, he's going to the line for his 8th and 9th free throw. He's already at 29 points. You know, it's just a very tough cover for any opposing point guard.
You know, these are two teams which are destined for the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. But Reggie, you were on teams like that too. I'm wondering if there was a way that you would construct the regular season, building month by month. I mean, how did you used to construct your personal regular season?
Well, I've been on both of similar teams like this. I've been on a young team that had a lot of young, talented players, and you just tried to win every single game because you didn't know any better. That's the situation in the world that the Thunder are in. And I've been on a more veteran team where, you know, there's 1 or 2 superstars, and you have aging players and veterans, and you just try to get by month to month, have winning months. You don't want to lose more than 3 games in a row, and you try to get home court advantage first or second round, because once you get to the conference finals and the finals, you should be able to win anywhere on the road. So home court really doesn't matter that much unless it's a game 7. So I understand both schools of thoughts, being on a young team and being more on a veteran team.
Richardson comes in. Arenas will take a breather. Durant is resting. Jay Rich over Cephalosha. Jason Richardson, who has really picked up his game since the trade. 16 points tonight for him. Back to the 30 for Howard and the 15 for Anderson off the bench.
You would think this is like a 15-point lead here for the Thunder.
It kind of feels like that, but it's obviously just 6, as you can see. Now it's back up to 9 because Jeff Green just drilled a 3, and a big one it was. Green with his 2nd beyond the arc tonight.
Well, because of the Magic 3-point shooting, they're never really out of it.
Here's Turkoglu inside on Green, and Ibaka coming over with a little double-team pressure. With 6:55 to play in the 4th, Green picks up his second. He hit this triple moments ago.
Well, has struggled over the last 10 ball games with his three. Nice ball movement here. Sucks in the defense, does Cephalosha, and just kicks it out to a wide open Jeff Green.
Scott Brooks, we met with him before the game. He said, we're still very much a work in progress. It's a young team, as Reggie talked about all night long. He said, we're still learning. We're still a work in progress from game to game and practice to practice.
Well, what I like is he's setting the tone for his team is don't get too high, and we're never going to get too low. We're going to stay right here in the middle. We're going to continue to get better each and every night in practice, which will parlay into the game. But, just because we're young, energetic, 10 players, 24 or younger, we can't get ahead of ourselves. It's got to be done by hard work.
Coachable players.
Very coachable.
See the shooting from the line. Westbrook. A little game of twister there between Ibaka and Richardson. There's 6:40 to play in this 8-point game. There's Mo Cheeks on the right. Ibaka picks up his 5th personal foul. We've been talking a lot about Westbrook. Mo and Westbrook have had a nice connection since he has joined the staff and Westbrook has joined the team.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I'm Russell Westbrook, I am picking up Mo Cheeks every day for practice, bringing him donuts, because if I can learn from one of those point guards, Hall of Fame legend, as J.J. Redick knocks down the 12th three-point shot for the Orlando Magic.
He can bring him back, and right now it's a 5-point game. Redick from outside with the 3.
Is the anatomy of a great shooter. And you see the with Dwight Howard and Jameer Nelson. Well, this isn't the focus point of this play. It really is J.J. Redick. And once Jameer comes off the pick and roll, as you stop it right here, look at the eyes. J.J. Redick is not looking at Kevin Durant. He's looking upward at the rim. He's not worried about the length as you let it go of Kevin Durant. He is focused on balance and follow through as a shooter. He's not worried about the defense. He's more worried about the rim. Balance, footwork, follow through. The anatomy of a shooter. And more importantly, the focus.
Good stuff from a guy who knows something about three-point shooting. Here comes Richardson. Thunder had a big lead of 12. 10 minutes left. Magic on a 15-8 run, including a couple of triples by Redick over the last 3.5 minutes. Redick with 15 points. 8 have come in this 4th quarter. Turkoglu for 3. Rebound Ibaka.
He was struggling tonight. 1 of 6 from the field. Only 5 points. But he is the Magic's closer. So just because he hasn't knocked one down, he can still get it going.
Little shove on Durant. And the foul goes on Redick, who picks up his 2nd. Frank, what do you have?
Talking about J.J. Redick, the balance, the footwork, the focus, and the follow-through, but also the confidence. Remember, he started the season on a terrible slump. The first 9 games, he was 3 of 25 for 12%. But since then, the 24 games since then, 50 of 102, just under 50%. So he had all those basics that Reggie talked about. He did not lose confidence, and obviously he's turned things around.
He looks terrific tonight. Redick with 2 threes. He did 3 threes, and he has found himself prior to this game. In the previous 2, he'd only gone 2 of 13 from 3-point territory. Did you find yourself though in droughts like that? I mean, in 3-point shooting, it is a distance, and you are being defended, especially guys that are known 3-pointers like you and Redick.
Yes, but shooters shoot. That's what J.J. Redick and Harden are on the floor for, to put the ball in the basket. You can't worry about what your percentage is. You're always thinking the next one's going down.
6-point game. It's been as high as 12 for the Thunder. Another 3, Redick. Bullseye! Oh, what a shot. Redick is at 3 in a row from beyond the arc, and he's brought the Magic to within 3. 11 in the quarter. Cephalosha approaching 5 to play. The double team Durant with 27. Westbrook is 11 of 19. He'll put up the triple. Orlando 70% shooting in the 4th. Howard to Ibaka. Wow.
What a double clutch there by Dwight Howard. They even got fouled by Ibaka. Now you hear the fans in this crowd getting back into it.
Good screen on the switch, and Westbrook forces the issue inside. Howard looked like he might have been reaching in with the clock at 4.5 to play. Howard picks up number 4. This will put Westbrook at the line, and he is 8 of 9 from the stripe tonight.
Well, you've got the Magic, who are 23 and have taken 31 attempts from the free throw line tonight. Right now, this will be the 30 and 31st attempts for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
So they are 80% from the line and 74% shooting from the stripe for the Magic. In the defense of the Magic, you know, has been hard to find.
There's 2.
Wow. Here we go with a chance to take their first lead.
Well, I like if Hito could get the ball in his hand in a quick pick and roll.
For the lead, Nelson the 3, and picked up by Cephalosha, approaching 4 to play.
Look, I know you're 13 of 25, 52% from long distance, the Magic are, but you've got to put the ball in Hito's hand.
A 3 from Durant. Kevin Durant has got 30 points for a second consecutive game.
That's a 6-point turnaround right there.
He is the leading scorer in the NBA. Turkoglu with the slashing move. Howard shoved out of bounds. There is a foul. And it will go on Green. Green's got 3 fouls.
Well, Nelson misses a 3 at one end, and then you see a quick little flare for Kevin Durant. Double screen up high and knocks down the 3. And here's the drive by Turkoglu, and the offensive rebound here by shoved in the back by Dwight Howard.
Howard from the line, 12 of 14. Both teams in the penalty rest of the way. 13 of 15 for Howard, who takes the most free throws of any player in the league. And last year, that guy took the most free throws per game, 10 a game for Durant. He's number 2 in free throw attempts.
Shows you how aggressive both players are. I love the concentration in this game of Dwight Howard from the free throw line. Recognizing could have gave his team a chance to win last night on the road in New Orleans. Missed 2 free throws with just under 11 seconds left.
With his 34 points, 16 rebounds last night, he had 29 points and 20 rebounds in New Orleans. And Westbrook got fouled. 3:29 to play. Nelson was on him. And Jameer will pick up 4.
Just missed 2 free throws last time at the free throw line.
One thing that has been apparent during the 9-game winning streak of the Magic, balanced scoring. And you're seeing that pretty much again tonight. 15 off the bench from Anderson, 18 from Reddick, 34 from Howard, 16 from Jason Richardson, 8 points from Bass. Westbrook now with 31 points, 13 assists, and 1 rebound away from a triple-double. Big ones. Right at the line.
Well, let's see. There they go. Put the ball in the hands of Hito. He can get to the basket.
Nelson. Rebound. There's the triple-double right there. 32, 13, and 10. What a play. What a play.
It's got to be on the All-Star team. Wouldn't you say, in the East? I mean, in the West?
Absolutely. He could be on East or West. It doesn't matter. Here comes Westbrook, who takes it to the lip. Reddick took it hard. Shot clock at 4. Green, a desperation 3. Kaboom! The Thunder. now for tonight's Marines Teamwork Play of the Game.
Well, this is one of Russell Westbrook's 13 assists. Posted up on the smaller Jameer Nelson. J.J. Redick comes down to help, turns his back. Cephalosha doing a good job of cutting to the rim and gets the easy dunk.
Beautiful game for Westbrook tonight. The triple-double with 32, 13, and 10. Magic had cut the margin to 1 with 4:46 to play. Here comes Turkoglu right now. And Howard will tap it back in. He's got 36. So it was a 1-point game with under 5 to play. The Thunder on an 8-4 run since. 5-point game.
Plenty of time here.
Durant. And Ibaka couldn't find the handle. Turnover number 11. That is a 3 and a fan by Richardson. And a defensive foul called on the Thunder. Away from the ball, Ibaka.
That'll send Dwight Howard to the free throw line.
So the foul is on Ibaka, and he is gone. Bernie, we've got Howard at the free throw line, where tonight he is 14 of 16, and send it to you back in our TNT arena. EJ, thank you very much. Still worth the price of admission to watch Wade, who's really one of the premier players in the league. And the way he has led that Miami team with Bosh and with James has been something to watch, with a great run that began really on TNT December 2nd in Cleveland. Howard again. Green with the big rebound, approaching 2 to play. And a 4-point game.
This is Kevin Durant time. We talked about him being the Thunder's closer. He's got to make plays.
Richardson will defend. Green over Turkoglu. Redick. Kristich on Howard. Another rebound by Green.
You're Dwight Howard, you're going away from the basket on that jump hook. You need to be going into the chest of Nene Kristich.
Trying to get the pick and roll or pick and pop with Durant. No fouls to give. Westbrook. Shot clock at 2. Nelson was defending. Nelson picks up the loose ball. Comes the other way for the Magic. Turkoglu. Big shot.
I tell you, because of his size at that 6'10" frame, it doesn't matter on the switch with Kristich. He can look over.
Turkoglu with 7.
Dwight Howard, you got to show on this down screen.
Richardson picks up the foul. That's the second.
Foul, probably the worst guy in the gym. Excellent free throw shooter, Kevin Durant.
4 of 5 is the NBA's leading scorer with his 30 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. When he gets to 30, you can see the record. Oklahoma City has had 5 missed free throws in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of a team that's the league's best free throw shooting team. That's the chance of MVP rain down here. Leads the league in scoring.
2-possession game, 41 seconds to play.
You don't necessarily need a 3 right here. A quick 2
As you see, the close games that the Thunder have won this year. We talked about them having two closer in Westbrook and Kevin Durant, but they got to put the ball in the hands of Turkoglu. Because of his size, he can create plays, not necessarily for himself, but he's going to be able to find a Redick or a Jason Richardson for a three. But he can also get to the basket and finish.
Nelson picked up by Westbrook, screened by Howard, switch on defense over Kristich, really over no one. Nelson hits a wide open 16-footer to make it a 2-point game in 32 seconds to play.
And why you go quick on that?
We've had a lead. Isiah is 12 by the Thunder. Magic never on top. A lot of big individual performances. Thunder will inbound.
Well, it looks like they've been trying to post up Kevin Durant on the smaller Jason Richardson, but now it looks like Turkoglu has gone back for that size on Kevin Durant.
There's a difference of 7 seconds. The game clock and shot clock, and Westbrook is going to take it all the way down.
You don't want any second shot opportunities either if you're the Magic. Secure the rebound.
Durant with 32. Durant with 34. Big time shot, 8 seconds to play. Timeout Orlando. Clock.
Well, they put the bigger Turkoglu on him, so he knew he could take him off the dribble. But how about the shot over the length of Dwight Howard coming over? And you're shooting over a 7-foot guy, which goes up to about 7'8" with that wingspan. And just the length of Kevin Durant and the concentration to get that shot off.
So in this 4-point game, Durant with his 90th career, 30th 30-point game. He's got 34 tonight, 9 in the fourth quarter. Orlando's got a 20. Oklahoma City has 2 20s.
Now you have to think about getting a 3 and a quick foul.
Redick will inbound. Richardson over Harden for 3. Howard with the rebound. He'll be held inside by Cephalosha. With 2.8 to play.
Play the percentages. You're sending a guy who is shooting 57% on the season from the free throw line, even though he's 15 of 18 tonight.
With 37.
Pass for the rebound.
Redick, right.
Here's the question now. Does he miss it?
I was going to ask you.
You know, I think he's looking over at Stan Van Gundy. You might want to miss this on purpose. See if your bigs can tip it back.
Well, obviously why Bass is in it.
Likes to make them. I'm not quite sure he's used to being in that position of missing it. Now, your more gifted free throw shooters know how to miss on purpose where their bigs can tip it back for the shot. He's not comfortable in that situation.
Cephalosha will inbound. Durant comes off. There was a screen by Westbrook and a quick foul on Kevin and 2.1 to play. A lot of movement going on right there. Nelson picks up his 5th personal foul. Triple-double tonight for Russell Westbrook. And Durant with 34 and 6 of 7 from the stripe is there right now.
Oh, I love Kevin Durant not shying away from the moment, making sure he comes to the basketball. And Russell Westbrook, the most reliable free throw shooters on this team, especially in pressure situations, come to the basketball. I played with a lot of guys who put their blinders on in moments like this.
That's a 4-point lead. Durant with 11 in the quarter. Ernie Johnson, take it away. Very beginning of the game, the Thunder have been well over 50%. At the end of one, shooting 54%. At halftime, 58%. At the end of three, at 58%. And for the game right now, 56%. And this is against a top 5 defensive Orlando team in field goal defense and in points allowed.
Well, it really started in quarter one by Russell Westbrook, his penetration, and then Kevin Durant from the start of the game was just getting too many wide open looks.
So here we go, a 2.1, 4-point lead. Richardson will put up a 3 over Harden. It's in at the buzzer. It's a 1-point win for Oklahoma City. They've won 4 in a row. Second straight loss for the Magic. For Craig Sager and future Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Oklahoma City. Now let's send it to the voice of the NBA, Marv Albert in Denver.